I just went out and did what we call a rainbow aurora, um, circle of light, circle of fire. It's called an aurora roundtable. I do aurora roundtables with the sun. And so when I do that, I get a lot of information through the sun. And then when I came back in here, I was sitting here thinking about the Super Soldier program. And I was thinking of people that I know that have been in that program. And so I felt that it was important for me to share what I know to be true. And that is that the Super Soldier program was born out of deadlight water codes, which are artificial timelines, which means the Super Soldier program was not born out of first light, which is eternal light, which is eternal light codes, which is hydrolayers. Okay. Now, the reason that I say this is that because I was listening to a recent broadcast by Kim Go-Gun, upon which some folks in the Guardian, not the Guardian, but this is when we get into labels, PIN numbers, personal identity numbers, encryption coded identities, special access permits, special access codes, and how security protocols are allocated, because I can assure you of this, because I know this because of all the videos that I put up about what I know about me that I share with you. Not everybody runs the same security clearance access for obvious reasons. After 985 billion years, this is a cosmic level star fire light cycle. That's why. Okay, and so when you get into mapping timelines, who are you mapping timelines with? Are you mapping timelines with Kristos, Sophia, the first spiral, which is you're fused and you're running the first spiral, which means the information that you're getting by virtue of what you're scanning is with eternal light and not artificial deadlight timelines, knowing the difference in timelines. Okay, and that has everything to do with speed. That has everything to do with recoding templates. That has everything to do with the monitoring that is taking place over all the templates and the speed at which people are recoding their templates as it relates to the barter point that is already a known. Known unknowns, remember? Okay? Because again, it's a measurement of purity. It's the purity of our fire, which is the purity of that fire is a measurement of access because of how map reads work, which are frequencies, which are codes, which are keys. This is when we get into duplicate keys, right? Make a copy of the key to try and get into the door. That's why we cut them off at the pass, as we say, because we're already there, right? Which means we know the torque speed differential between the keys, which means you can't fake the keys with us. Which means we know the difference between a copy frequency and the original. Okay? And that is a gift. That is an eternal gift, which is an eternal blessing. Because it means I know what I am, and I also know what you are, which isn't. Because we map all the key codes. And the key codes that they're running, which has everything to do with the access. And why I've mentioned they do not get into our most sacred healing temples. They don't have those keys because they can't see those keys. That means they can't copy those keys as much as they would love to. I know, blank slate technology, right? Upload your consciousness, reprogram it. Now you don't know the difference between what you once were and what you are now because you believe that what you are now and what you're reading are proper reads, and that's called a false positive reading. Just like I mentioned, when they give a false positive reading, when they take a sample of my blood, oh, you're AB plus Arcturian. I'm 0, which is 1 blood. Cancel out the RH factors. Now you're at 0, which is EFFI. Which is the first star, which is the first curve, which is the first spiral, which is first creation, which is sacred son of one, sacred son of Yana. Yeah. The first spirit code. So I thought I'd share that because something popped up in my window and I was reading the holographic deadlight water codes that are represented by what that image is represented by a different mirror. So I realized the mirror that is presenting that data, okay, is coming through a different data stream, which is a deadlight water stream, which is not a hydrolase. Light spirit water codes, Kristos Sophia codes, banner codes. So it's a matter of knowing what's in your mirror and being able to read the right codes, which is the data stream. And who's generating the data? Dead light. What do you expect? That's why I was told to throw the phone away. They lie about all the data. The system that we are using, all the data, all the laptops, all the keyboards, all the phones, all the iPads, okay, is masquerading data, which is all AI, deadlight, heavy water codes. Data. Okay? So what that means is that when you're running a Kristos level avatar, you're getting all the information that you need as an antenna, as a cosmic level antenna, which means you do not need a computer to get the data because the data has already happened. So now you're getting into sensing speed on your own, through your own cells, when you're running full capacity data sensing, running Kristos Sophia codes. Completely different set of data, because now you're getting real data, because that light is eternal light data being provided for us through the first star fire network. Big difference in speed, in transmission. That's why I put that little video up. They get it later. They get it after the fact. Because this AI system that people are plugged into does not run at EFFI speed, does not run at Kristos Sophia speed, the first curve speed, right? Which is eternal peace, which is eternal flame of Adama Amaria. Yep. Breathing codes, breathing holographic codes, breathing data streams, cellular processors. So anyway, I wanted to share that. Medicine is not funny, obviously. It is extremely painful. But I'm very aware of the invisible landscape, invisible codes, and how the system operates, right? And why we're all here. Why we're all here. Sometimes even within my own state of consciousness, if you will, the magnitude of what's actually happening is, that's why I cried for 4 days. Because of the amount of loss of what we're going to lose as a result therein of what all the data is showing us of why we're all here. Right? And that is the importance that I know of like why I do what I do every day. I spend more time, well, it depends on what I'm doing, but I'm making it a habit. The way that it is sequenced, with the way that the precision in the mathematical sequence, the sun is already waiting for me at the exact moment that I'm supposed to be there because we have a relationship with each other. It's perfectly timed, by the way. Okay. So I know exactly where I'm supposed to be, even to the exact centimeter of working with the sun, exactly where I'm supposed to be, which is exactly where the sun is at the time in which I have a relationship with that sun to do a rainbow round table aurora within Earth. And so I just did one. I did one this morning. And so I have the eternal blessing of being on this rock to do that, and why I'm here. That's why it's not a coincidence. It's the owner of this property. And we've had some pretty amazing conversations with each other. He has an open receiver. He's not in resistance mode to learn. Okay, he's listened to everything that I've shared with him that I dumped. Oh man, I'm doing some major memory dumps with this guy, and he's taking it all in stride. And it's like, I know, I get it. I know. I told him all about the breeding factories and breeders and atmospheric codes, PSI fire letter codes. And it's just amazing. It just goes, he's processing it right on through. And that tells you a lot about codes. Tells you a lot about coded cellular processors. Coded cellular processor speeds able to translate the mathematical language between terminals, between cellular antennas. And it's a beautiful thing to experience that. You know, because then that allows you to open up your library. But I try and keep it condensed, because that's where you get lost in all the complexity. If you can even find your way back to where you started the first discussion, depends on what you want to talk about. That's why they keep it down to minus/plus. The null hypothesis, keep it simple. And why is that? Because they want to eliminate all the other variables of causality, of why we experience what we do, by acknowledging something's wrong, right? And trying to fix something that they know is wrong. Okay, so we want to eliminate all the other variables to try and come up with the right result in order to fix what we know is wrong. Now you have the right result. Now you know what went wrong in spirals. Right? And so I do my best to keep this as simple as I can. What is a spiral? It's a curveball. Right? Curving lines of communication, the single dot, the single point, the center point of a sphere, the center point of a cell, a four-way hub. Burn, baby, burn. That's right. Light me on fire. Light the girl on fire, right? Breathing fire, right? So anyway, have a beautiful day. We love you all. Be good to ourselves.